Hello and welcome to one more edition of Popcorn Bucket List. This is the August 2021 edition, which means we have reached the end of the summer movie season.
Yes.
Kind of went by fast, didn't it?
It did. And there were some good films, some bad films.
It's kind of a slow movie season, but we knew that going in.
Yeah.
Just wait till next year, though.
Yeah, next year.
There's going to be more movies than I can count.
I know. I can't wait.
Granted, I can't count very high, though. But so before we get into the meat of the episode, the actual preview, as per usual, or at least for the last few months, we start things off with Ryan's challenge. You've been stumping them. I told you to hold back a little bit this time. Hopefully, people get it. Again, just to reiterate the rules. To be eligible to win, you have to be the first one to comment in the YouTube video.
Yep.
Not on any Facebook posts. You can't text us or anything.
Nope.
It's just easier for us.
That's
all right.
right.
You try sorting through all of them.
Yep.
All the fan
Between
mail.
the fan mail, the hate mail, the asking questions. It's crazy.
The credit card mail. Somehow they're even sending that to us. They find you, man.
Yeah.
Visa finds you.
They asked about the popcorn bucket vehicle warranty the other day. And I said,
we're like, how do they even know about that? That's still in the shop.
Yeah,
they find you, man. They find you. But Ryan, why don't you take it away while I will be sitting over here, definitely paying attention.
Perfect.
To what you've got in store for everyone. So
first I have to say congratulations to Shelly Moe. She won last week's, or was it 2 months ago, or last month's one, with the 4 tickets, guessing the lettering on the shirt. So that was awesome. Congratulations to her. Got 4 tickets to CEC Theaters. For this next challenge, in honor of Black Widow, because it was out this past couple of weeks or whatever, one of the actresses that stole the show was Florence Pugh. Awesome actress. My question to you is, what Ari Aster horror film was she in maybe 2 years ago? I think it was 2 or 3 years ago. It had to do with, let's just say, summertime. Not the beginning or the end of summer, but yeah. So that's an Ari Aster film. Just write the title on the bottom, and you will have your chance to win the prizes. So good luck.
Oh, you're done?
Yeah.
Oh, I guess I'll take a break with this later. Stresses of the job, man.
Stresses.
But yeah, also, speaking of the CEC Theater and the tickets you provide, Marshall 6 Theater has been open this summer. They're open all week now, from the afternoon to later in the day. Also, you want to keep an eye out for $5 Tuesdays. It's a great deal.
Great deal.
You get a drink, or if you buy a drink, you get a free kind of smaller popcorn as well. So that's super nice. But yeah, check out their website for show times, see which movies you're interested in, and see what times they'll be playing. They're also still hiring, so if you are interested or you're looking for kind of an end-of-summer job, if you're coming here for college, this is a college town, you need a job, be sure to check out their website as well for that information. So huge thanks to the Marshall 6 Theater for providing us some small glimpses of hope in life sometimes. And these posters as well. Yep. Posters provided by Marshall 6 as well. Nice posters.
Yes.
I like them. But with that, let's get into the August preview. Like I said, end of the summer movie season here. Something we've talked about maybe in the past, how many years, August has been the slowest month box office-wise. We may see a change here, though, this time.
Yeah.
Because people are starting to kind of come back more and more, so we may see a resurgence in August, which is usually kind of the dead month that people are tired of going to movies and everything.
Kind of towards the end of the summer, people, staying at home trying to do those last-minute vacations, those last-minute, let's go up to the lake, baseball
those last-minute summer homework things that you swore you'd get done right away in the beginning of the summer and then totally forgot about for 4 months.
Yep.
Yeah. But let's kick things off with Friday, August 6th. This is the opening weekend here for August, and it is starting off with a bang. The Suicide Squad. This is a theaters and HBO Max side-by-side release. This is the follow-up to 2016's Suicide Squad, which is a DC EU movie. This time being directed by James Gunn, most famous for the Guardians of the Galaxy franchise from Marvel. He's switching sides over to DC for a little bit.
Switching to the good guys.
Yeah, he's by directing the bad guys.
By directing the bad guys.
That's what this movie is about. It's the bad guys who are sent on these missions that are considered suicide, essentially, because they're bad guys. No one's going to miss them if they die.
Yeah.
And from all the things I've heard, this movie is going to be a bloodbath.
Yes.
A lot of people are going to die.
Yep. I can't wait. The superpowers look interesting. The characters are interesting. I think it's just going to be a fun movie.
Yeah.
Fun ride.
And also coming out that same weekend is an Amazon Prime documentary named Val. This is about the actor Val Kilmer, who was diagnosed with throat cancer and hasn't really been able to star in anything or act in anything. So in this time, he's been kind of passing the time by going through hours and hours and hours of his own footage that he shot kind of of his own life. He's always been attracted to having a camera along with him and just recording his younger years, making little videos with his friends, and just kind of compiling his own little documentary. It's basically, think of it this way, it's like a video autobiography.
Yep.
Almost is probably the best way to put it. And seems like he's had a pretty interesting career. Yeah. It's had its peaks and valleys. He was Batman at one point, which is, not a lot of people could say, granted. But, that is an Amazon Prime documentary.
I think it looks pretty good. Mm-hmm. I always like those. And it's by A24, so it's kind of got that, he is really able to do whatever he wants to do with this. He has all the full control, I believe. So I think it's going to be, it'll be interesting.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, I picked a really good flavor. Can't let that go to waste. But next week, Thursday on August 12th, a movie called Homeroom. There is a limited theater release here, but it's also coming out on Hulu. This is also a documentary. We're trying to make people learn here again. This is how slow August is. This is where all the documentaries are coming in.
We are the learning show now.
We are the learning. Yeah, we need like glass. I need to replace these with chalkboards or something like that.
Yes.
I'm just kidding. Nobody uses chalkboards anymore.
Sure.
But this is a documentary set in Oakland City High School, and it kind of shows a group of young students that were looking to change and improve their school. They had some issues. They were trying to get the word out, and the school kind of wasn't listening. Like most things around this time, though, the pandemic hit, and it kind of changed things, or made it a little bit more difficult. And not only did they have these issues they were trying to solve, but they had the pandemic that they had to work around. It was almost kind of like, we've maybe talked about this before, but Borat 2. If you watch Borat 2, okay, this is going to be the weirdest comparison, I grant you, but follow me on this journey. In Borat 2, it started off, he was out in public doing his thing, and then boom, the pandemic hit, and then they had to completely change how they were doing that movie.
Yep.
It's kind of the similar thing here almost, where it's like, we had a plan. This is what we were going to film. We knew what the end game here was. And then all of a sudden, how do we shoot in a school when the school is no longer open? Mm-hmm. How do the students try to solve the problems in the school when they can't meet anymore in the school anymore? Yep. And so I think it's one of those where they were kind of dealt a bad hand, and you did the best you could with it.
Yep. Yeah, it'll be, like I said, they're taking on a very strong topic, police in schools. Mm-hmm. And that's a huge topic, and there's a lot to talk about there. And then having to be able to, you have to stay at home. Mm-hmm. Everything is going to be done online. Yep. How do you make that into a documentary-ish? Yeah. So it'll be fun to see. It'll be interesting.
Yeah. You heard it here first. Homeroom is the Borat 2 of documentaries. You can quote me on that. Coming out that next day, Friday the 13th. Starting things off on that scary day, Don't Breathe 2. This is a horror movie sequel that takes place many years after the first movie. Without really going into spoilers, the first movie was one of those where there really isn't any good guys as far as the characters, like 100% good guys as far as the characters go. Mm-hmm. And one of those characters who is now moved on to this, and his main character in this one, is kind of having those past sins catch up with them in this movie. And again, kind of looks like there's no 100% good guys here. Everyone's got some bad motives, or they're doing potentially good things, but for bad reasons, or doing it badly. I gotta be honest, I kind of like those movies.
I do too.
Where there's not 100% good guys, or there's not 100% the right answer.
Everything's in the gray area.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. Makes you think a little bit more.
Yeah.
Next to the nonsense violence. But
yeah, exactly. The nonsense. Yeah, it is supposed to be a little bit of horror, but it's almost trying to be like actiony too. Like the main character is blind, but he's like been blind his whole life, so he's like trained himself.
Yeah.
When I don't know if this is insensitive. It's kind of like if Daredevil looked like Old Man Logan.
Yes. Yeah.
He looks like Old Man Logan, and he's basically got the powers of Daredevil, I should say.
Yep.
So it looks kind of cool. But speaking of action and Marvel characters, Free Guy is coming out that same weekend. This is going to star Ryan Reynolds and Taika Waititi, both Marvel characters. But it's a Ryan Reynolds movie where he learns that he's essentially a video game character in this open world game. It's basically like Grand Theft Auto on steroids.
Yep.
Where just everyone's a criminal, basically, and they can just go out and rob a bank, and he works at a bank, and so he's robbed like every day. But that's his programming. He's like, yep, just another day on the job.
Yep.
But then he figures out he's a video game character, and he starts being the good guy and saving people, and it messes up the game's algorithm. But looks like it's going to be the same Ryan Reynolds humor. Looks like it's going to be some pretty fun action, some comedy in it as well. I'm super looking forward to this one.
Oh, it's like when I wake up from the simulation that I'm in right now and realize this is all fake.
How?
I'm going to, like you said, Ryan Reynolds is waking up from a video game.
Yeah.
No, Ryan Reynolds is in real life, and he is waking up to the puppet master.
How often do you wake up from your simulation? Like, how many times does this happen to you?
I've only done it twice.
Oh, okay.
I remember I woke up, and Jeff Bezos was staring at me. He said, back to sleep. And they stuck me with a thing.
Are you sure that was a simulation, or were you just tested on?
Could be both. I don't know.
That's true. It could be both.
I forgot my tin hat at home, so I'm a little scared right now.
Also coming out that same weekend is Respect. This is a straight-to-theaters movie. It is a biopic about singer Aretha Franklin, played by Jennifer Hudson. And if you don't recognize the name of the singer, try spelling out the title of the movie in a singing voice, and then you'll kind of figure out who we're talking about here.
Yep.
Very talented singer, had many other great hits. Hopefully this movie will talk about that more. And the main thing I hope is it doesn't fall into the just lost the movie. Bohemian Rhapsody. The Bohemian Rhapsody thing where it's like you watch that movie and like half of it they made up.
Yeah.
So let's hope they don't do that.
Yeah.
In any movie, really.
Yeah. When they're like those kind of like biopic almost things, like I would settle if it's a little more slower, but everything's real. Like, I like that.
Yeah.
If you wanna make a film about a band or a person and you want to make it crazy and awesome and sweet and cool, then go and do that, but don't say like this is the true story. Don't say that.
Don't do that. Don't lie to me. Don't look me in the eyes when you lie to me. You look a man in the eyes when you lie to him.
That's right.
Or you just don't do it at all. That's what the Bible says.
A lot of things say that too.
That's true. Yeah. It's not just the Bible.
It's not just the
Bible. Few more coming out this weekend. This is the big weekend here. Also is a Netflix movie named Beckett. This is an intense mystery starring John David Washington, where after a car accident, he and his girlfriend, I believe the girlfriend dies, and he's kind of like, he's now found himself in this deep like conspiracy theory in Italy. Mm-hmm. And he's like, I'm just an American tourist. And he's like trying to get a hold of the embassy, and he's like trying to sneak around. All these people are like trying to kill him.
Yep.
It's like, how did he get into this? What did he stumble upon, man?
Yeah.
Why did his girlfriend die?
I'm super excited. I think it looks good. I like John David Washington.
Yes, you've had trouble with that name in the past.
And it's funny because I really like him as an actor. Yeah. He's an awesome actor. I can never say his name right. I can't say it right. But he's the man, and I'm going to really enjoy this, I think.
Yeah, no doubt he'll be great in this. I am worried this movie, like this show, sometimes will go way off the rails and not know how to get back on it.
Yep.
But if that's the case, that just kind of makes me want to see it more.
Yeah. And like, since it's just I don't want to say it like that. Since it is a Netflix, it's not a big box office movie. It almost reminded me of like The Bourne Identity or something, just a little scaled down a little bit because
we're gonna find out though that he's like some secret agent with amnesia though, and it's basically just gonna be The Bourne Identity all over
Total
again.
Recall stuff.
Yeah, just some Total Recall all over again. It's Total Recall, but this time in Italy. And then finally coming out that weekend is Coda, C-O-D-A, all caps. This is a theaters and Apple TV Plus release. A girl and her family that work together on their fishing boat. It's just this 4-person family. She has a brother, mom, and dad. All the family members except for her are deaf. And so she is actually kind of sort of like the translator for the family, so to speak, to everyone else. She understands sign language, so she can communicate with them. But unfortunately, the other 3 are deaf. And but the other thing is, she actually also finds out she actually has a really amazing singing voice. She's kind of discovered by this teacher who basically is like, you go out, you kind of work with me, practice with me. I can get you scholarships to pretty much any college you want right now. We can get you full ride here probably.
I think that's the college they said was Berkeley.
Yeah, it was. I believe it was Berkeley. Which is the one she wanted to go to. He's like, yeah, if you work with me and all that, like I can get you there. Yep. But the unfortunate thing is she can't really leave her family, or if she has to kind of decide, do I want to do something for me that might be a little bit more selfish? Is what I'm doing selfish? It's a really interesting trailer. I suggest checking it out because there's that one scene where she like performs for the first time. The family, they unfortunately can't hear her, so like they don't know. Yeah. Like, is she doing good? Is she doing bad? So finally, they had to like watch the crowd reaction and see like, oh, she's getting a standing ovation here. She's doing pretty good. And that was probably the first time they even knew how good she can sing. Yep. So
because obviously they can't hear. So.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that's going to be a super interesting one to check out as well.
It'll be fun.
Coming out that next weekend, Friday, August 20th. Another big weekend here, actually. Yeah, like I said, they're kind of not a lot of movies earlier on this summer, so they're kind of throwing a whole bunch here in August. Yeah. But one of the ones to talk about is Paw Patrol the movie. I'm going to let you take this one away. I haven't brushed up on my Paw Patrol fandom. I apologize. That's on me. I didn't do enough show prep on the Paw Patrol. You have young ones, though, that you care for. Yep. So I'm just assuming out of the 2 of us, you would have a better chance of knowing what Paw Patrol is all about.
I've seen Paw Patrol TV show.
Yeah, take it away, bud.
It's great. Little dogs. They like one's a firefighter, one's a police person, one flies a helicopter, like kind of cool stuff, and they help their owner guy. I don't know if he's their owner or just a friend, but he's a person. And they help each other solve all these situations, and I guess they're coming out with a movie now. So I have a little I think it's a bathtub little boat with the little dog. So I assume I'm probably going to go see this movie with Luke, and he will love it. And I'll sit back and say that's a great movie. And I'll let you guys know how I really feel about it next month, maybe. So, yeah, go check it out. Paw Patrol.
He flies a helicopter, too.
Yeah, they have all kinds of...
Oh, yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Do you ever see those bits with, like, old Johnny Carson bits where he would like, smoke even during the show? Like, he would hide it, though, so you'd only see, like, the smoke, like, off the side of the screen. Yeah, but, like, when he knew the camera would cut to the guest, he would, like, take a puff.
That's funny.
Like, that's just legendary.
That's old TV, folks.
Yeah, he's got moxie, kid.
He's got moxie, huh? Pulls himself up by the bootstraps.
Oh, Johnny Carson. I wish I knew you. Also coming out that same weekend is The Protege. This is a straight-to-theaters release, no streaming services. This is a Martin Campbell action movie about the fun world of assassins, because we haven't had enough of those movies this year. Yep. But, yeah, Martin Campbell, known mainly for the James Bond films as of late. Some of those have been pretty hit and miss in my book. But if you want more information about this movie, just go and watch like the John Wick trailers and you get the gist of it.
Yeah, because I think it's by the people that produced the John Wick movies, right?
Yeah.
So it's gonna be full of action. Our boy Samuel L. is in it.
Yeah. That's when you know it's a necessity. Second one this summer, by the way.
Yeah.
Second one this summer.
And Ryan Reynolds is in that other film.
Yeah.
So that poster's a good find there.
Yeah.
It looks fun. Looks like a lady John Wick, except instead of killing her dog, it's her friend.
Yep.
And emotions flare. And also another Batman reference. Michael Keaton's in it.
Oh yeah,
he plays the bad guy.
Keaton's in it. Yeah.
Does
he play the bad guy, or is he just kind of like we don't know where he's
true.
at?
I
got like the sense of he's like, I don't know if he's the bad guy.
Depends on perspective. Who's the bad guy?
Don't do that. Don't be that guy. Not right now. It's too early for that. Can't believe you did that to me. I feel betrayed. Also coming out that same weekend, Reminiscence. You got a dystopian future here starring Hugh Jackman and Rebecca Ferguson. You add a little dose of Inception, add a little political commentary on climate change, and top it all off with a mystery-solving action, and you have cracked the recipe for this movie. I'll admit, on the paper, this does seem interesting. Watching the trailer, it did kind of seem like we're just throwing 10 different things that have worked in the past at this movie again.
Like, I definitely get the Inception vibe from it when you see, like, the worlds, and then, like, when they're stepping in the pool. It reminded me of, like, a couple other films, and it's like,
Well, yeah, they're laying in a pool, like, getting, like, memories of other people, where I'm like, okay, so that's Minority Report.
Yeah.
We got Inception.
Yep.
Climate change, it's going to end the world. So, that's like every other action movie at this point.
It'll be interesting. I like Hugh Jackman as an actor.
Yeah.
And he's not over the top. He's not Wolverine, obviously, in this. And he's more, I would say, of a regular guy holding on to his past.
Yeah.
And in a world that revolves around moving into the future, can he somehow find a way to save his life?
Is that what he's doing?
I don't know.
I don't even know. I thought the point was to stop climate change.
I thought it was to, like, hold on to his wife.
Who we don't even know if she is his wife.
Good point. Inception.
Oddly enough, that was not the most confusing trailer we saw for this month. Annette. This is a straight Amazon Prime movie. Adam Driver's in it.
Wild.
I have no idea what happened in this trailer.
It to me, it reminds me of one of those films that is made to almost be like a play. Because the sets are so over the top but look so confined, and they're beautifully shot and lit, and the emotion that each and every scene that you get, it's just jam-packed with emotion, and it's filling out, and it's Adam Driver and his baby and with the kid, and then they're on the ship.
Yeah, I didn't even remember there was a baby, and you mentioned that before the show when we were talking about it.
They showed like the baby, and then they're on a ship, and the crowd is applauding, and then he's somewhere else, and he's holding the baby, and then he's holding like this, and looks wild.
That is something I think worth mentioning is, although I have no idea what happened in this trailer, it looked beautiful and the performances looked great.
Yeah, very artsy, very very artsy, and Adam Driver, his voice, awesome.
Yeah, he doesn't make a lot of bad choices when it comes to movies.
No.
So I gotta trust his gut on this one. Finally coming out that weekend also is a movie called Sweet Girl. This is a Netflix movie starring Jason Momoa. Basically, it's Jason Momoa and his daughter versus Big Pharma. Basically, his wife was diagnosed with like cancer, I believe, or something like that, and this pharma company kind of supposedly had this right treatment or whatever, but it was like super duper expensive, or maybe it was like defective and they didn't know. Right away on the surface, I thought this movie had some legit things, some very topical things to say. And I was kind of on board. I was like, all right, yeah, maybe a little bit of action with Jason Momoa, like taking on Big Pharma. Like, let's go. And then they started playing, because the movie is named Sweet Girl, they started playing Sweet Child of Mine by Guns N' Roses in the background. And then I was like, does the movie want me to take this seriously? Because I don't think they are.
Then the butt kicking starts. And then it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
We are not taking on Big Pharma pen and paper. We got my Walther, my Colt 45. Like, we are going to town. We're battling. Like, yeah.
Yeah. I really thought this movie was going to, like, try and say something and maybe add a little bit of action. But no, it's going to be, instead of talking, it's just going to be Jason Momoa being like, you killed my wife.
Yeah. Yep.
How could you?
Yeah.
I will avenge her. Everything, like all that.
Yeah.
Well, he can't say he's gonna avenge her because he's a Justice League member.
Yeah.
I think that's in his contract somewhere. I will
justify
I will justify this. No, you don't want to say that because then that makes them look like the good guys.
Yeah.
You can't say I will league you. I will serve some justice for you. How about that?
There you go.
We'll use that.
Time.
Finally, coming out Friday, August 27th, is Candyman. This is one of those big ones that was pushed due to the pandemic. It's finally coming out straight to theaters. It's considered to be like a reboot sequel to the 1992 horror movie. They might kind of introduce some new time or some adjustments to the story, but essentially, it's probably going to reference the 1992 movie as well. Say his name 5 times and see what happens as a local reporter is investigating the local legend of Candyman, a man who was wrongly tortured and convicted and killed for a crime that they found out he did not commit. Now the man supposedly haunts the area and appears when you say Candyman 5 times.
Yeah, I'm super pumped for this. I love horror movies. Candyman, I feel, doesn't always get the praise that like Jason or Michael Myers or Freddy Krueger have, and I'm just excited because I think the new Candyman.
Did you know something?
Did you see that?
Okay. Anyways, you were saying.
Yeah. And what was it? Jordan Peele's like he's not directing it, but
yeah, I think he's just producing
this
movie.
So.
Yeah.
I am interested to see how they change or not change or how the story is because I remember in the original films the story of the hook and the bees and everything. And now from one of the trailers I've watched, I've seen a couple different ones. It sounded like that might have changed a little bit to fit the story that they're trying to tell a little better. So it'll be interesting to see like the story of Candyman, how he got the hook and everything. And it'll be fun. It'll be cool.
Yeah. And with that is everything coming out here in August. Let's update people on our box office battle. Despite my flawless strategy, Black Widow did earn the most this past month, thus winning Ryne'e the second month in a row here. Game's not over yet, bub. We got one more month here. I got a chance to tie it up. If we end up tying it, I don't know, we'll come up with like a tiebreaker next month or something like that. But I'll tell you what. I'll flip it. I'll let you call it.
Okay.
I feel like I've called it like the last 2 times, and that's like not worked for me. So
All right.
I'm switching up my strategy here.
Heads.
It's tails. I love that he just has to trust me on that. That's the kind of relationship we have. Is that I can lie to him and he wouldn't even know. What?
I'll still win. So it's fine. It's fine.
He's just like, I don't need a coin flip. I wanted you to win.
That's right.
So I've tried some interesting strategies these last few months in a way to shake things up. That clearly hasn't worked, so I'm going to go with the easy answer this time. The Suicide Squad. You've got James Gunn. You've got one of the biggest casts for a superhero movie that we've seen since Avengers Endgame, I guess, essentially. And yeah, I mean, they're all out promoting this film. They've all got their own huge fan bases. People love James Gunn. I think that's going to be the number 1 pick for this month. So
I think you're right. Now,
what do you got?
I'm a little indifferent because I had 3 options, and that was one of them. That was one. My number 2 and 3, I'm not super confident on, would be Free Guy. And then I also think Paw Patrol will do fairly well because there's no kids' movies out right now. Kids' movies always do fine. But I am going to go with Free Guy because I believe that's not on any other platform. I believe it's just in the theaters, even though it's been pushed like, what, a year and a half?
This one, yeah, I think that was another one that was pushed a lot.
So at least people should have at least seen a trailer for it over the past
a few
2
times,
years.
yeah.
So pre-pandemic.
Yeah. Before the dark times. Before the epidemic.
So, yep, I'm going with Free Guy.
If that meme hasn't been made yet, I know what I'm doing this afternoon.
Yep. Yeah.
All right, so you've got Free Guy. I've got Suicide Squad. All right, may the best movie win.
Yep.
Speaking of best movies, let's get a few number one recommends here. We haven't done that for the past few months.
Yeah.
Let's just do some quick ones here. I know, Ryan, I know you got a little bit more of an interesting one, so I'll let you go second. You can go a little bit more in detail. I'll just say quickly, I saw Snake Eyes this past couple weeks. I'm not I don't know a lot about the G.I. Joe franchise. I don't know a lot about that world. So just kind of going into that one, not really knowing anything, was kind of an interesting experience. I was kind of it kind of freed it up a little bit, just learning who some of these people were and learning kind of this new origin they were doing for Snake Eyes. I think the acting was great. I believe a lot of them did their own stunts because they're all pretty action-centric actors and everything. So that you always got to respect that. But yeah, it was a fun 2-hour action movie with a lot of swords and kind of introduce the G.I. Joes and see where that franchise is going to move forward to. So my number one recommend would be Snake Eyes G.I. Joe Origins.
All right.
And like I mentioned last month with these origin movies, it did a lot better than X-Men Origins Wolverine. So it's at least got that. But Ryan, why don't you let us know what have you been watching here?
Well, my recommend for this month is actually going to be kind of an interesting pick because it is a TV show but also a movie. I'm recommending Demon Slayer. We haven't really talked much anime at all on our show. Not to say that there's anything wrong with it. Personally, I haven't seen a lot of anime, but I heard a lot of great things about this movie. The Demon Slayer, sorry if I butcher the name, I'm going to. It's like Mugen Train. And I heard a lot about it when Mortal Kombat came out. A lot of people were discussing which they liked better, and I was like, what is this Demon Slayer thing? It sounds cool. It's Demon Slayer. It sounds sweet. What is everybody talking about? So I went online. I figured, it's based on a show. And I was like, I want to see the movie, but I have to watch the show first. Watch the show. First season's on Netflix. It's only like 20 episodes. They're like 20-minute long episodes, so you can pound them out pretty quick. But show is absolutely fantastic. The storytelling's wonderful. The action is great. The actual, the talking, because it is a dub and a sub, so I listened to the English dub version, and I really enjoyed it. The storyline was great. The action's great. The characters are awesome. Their arcs are really good. There's 3 main arcs, but if you're going to watch the movie, you should watch the the show for season 1, and it leads right in, and I think season 2 will be out later this year. Huge fan. Absolutely love it. Colors are beautiful. Everything's beautiful. Great show. Check it out.
And with that is going to do it for us here on this episode of Popcorn Bucket List. Remember to check out the Marshall 6 Theater website for showtimes, as well as the link if you are interested in working there. Also, head to the comment section of this YouTube video to answer Ryan's challenge. If you think you got the answer, put it down there. Also, while you're down there, let us know what you've been watching. We've been trying to branch out here a little bit more. Like you said, we haven't really talked about anime, so nothing's off limits here.
Yeah.
We'll watch anything if you guys recommend it here.
Yep.
For myself and Ryan Myberg, we'd like to thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you at the movies.